Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host, Advocate Tulo Hoyani. This afternoon, I would just like to look at developments in and around the Gauteng province with regard to the ousting of Silas Branch as mayor and, the politics around that. Let us begin first of all by saying that, at a provincial level, clearly the ANC and the ANC and the DA have never seen eye to eye. And now one wonders why the relationship has become that toxic. Because when you look at what is happening at national level or on the national front, you see another dynamic. You see the ANC having come to an agreement with the Democratic Alliance to form a government of national unity. And one would have hoped that this sort of arrangement would have, reproduced itself or, taken down to the lower level of the province. But at the level of the province, we don't see that kind of, unity. In fact, the ANC and the DA in Gauteng are poles apart, to put it mildly. Now, okay, Gauteng has now gone to Action SA. They now have their own mayor there. Julius Malema went public recently and said that there is a working arrangement which there is now is going to be implemented. They intend to give Gauteng will go to the ANC. We have seen Tshwane go to to Action SA, and the EFF will take Ekurhuleni. Now let me tell you something. Perceptions are everything in economics. Market perceptions are everything. Investor perceptions are crucial in the whole equation. Let me tell you that investors have taken a very negative outlook on the ousting of Silas Bank, whether we like it or not, whether or not it was a democratic process or not. Investors have not taken kindly to the changes that are happening in Gauteng, and that is likely to negatively impact on the economy of the province. And once investors have that sort of perception, it means they're not going to invest in the province. It means there will be the whole thing will spiral out. Without any investment in the province, how will crucial issues like job creation be addressed? That is the negative fallout from this arrangement. That is the reality of South African politics. Now, if the ANC goes on to take on Gauteng, the same thing will reproduce itself in Gauteng. Investors will look at it and say to themselves, we are not taking our money into this city. Because of that perception, the ANC, carries baggage behind it. That is why it plummeted from 57% to a paltry 40%. Investor confidence in the ANC has simply disappeared. Now take Ekurhuleni. If Ekurhuleni were to be run by the EFF, I'm telling you that we'll have a real disaster on our hands. Investors see the EFF as a threat to their own interests. Business sees the EFF as a threat to its interests. The EFF has been very vocal about, some of their radical policies around land reform and all those radical posturings by the party, which define who they are. They have defined themselves as anti-business, or at least hostile to business, and there's that perception. Business perceives them to be a threat to their overall interests. Should we have this arrangement, which has just unfolded in Tshwane, reproduce itself in Gauteng? and in Ekurhuleni, we have a real disaster on our hands. Now, no sooner had Malema made that announcement that such an arrangement was, under discussion or was in the pipeline. The one Nkriza of the ANC in the province, simply refuted the whole thing and said, no, there is no such thing. Now, it just shows you, the sort of leadership now that is taking over this province. Malema, on the other hand, is adamant that, there is such an arrangement which is under discussion. And the ANC just turns around and says there's no such arrangement. How do coalition partners, differ on such a fundamental issue? And how does Malema go public about it if, there has never been any such discussion? And on the other hand, if there have been such discussions, how does the ANC turn around and say there have never been any such discussions? Unfortunately for this country, we need to be seen to stabilize the economy, among other things. And if there's a perception that other political parties cannot hold that banner, and investors shy away from this country or do not invest in this country, then this country is simply going nowhere. Unemployment in this country stands at about 33%. And if you are going to get people like the EFF in power, I am telling you now, my prediction is it is going to shoot to something like 50% or even double what it is in some instances. We have to consider the options for South Africa. There is another way. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video, and please kindly subscribe. We look forward to those subscriptions. Thank you very much.